I just got the Reckless motorcycle fairing today. Well, let's open it up and see what it looks like. And inside the box is the fairing. It's wrapped pretty good in there. Lots of bubble wrap. So there it is. So there it is straight out the box. It did come with some protective film on the chrome here. Go ahead and peel that off. Now right now I have my regular windshield for my Road King, and it's got windshield mounts on there already. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off and put the fairing on. Windshield is off. That's the first time I tried putting this on, so it might take me a second. Sometimes my headlight or my windshield's hard to get on. It's hard to get on, so I might take. Looks like it's not that hard. To go on here while it's not going all the way down. On. Last thing I want to do is scratch it up first. Get it on there. Might have to do some adjusting. I'm going to adjust it and I'll be right back. Alright, I'll show you what happened here. If you can see in there, that's the rubber grommet that the fairing fits down onto. That's on the left side. And because the Road King has the headlights with the 3 in the front, when I put the fairing on, this part of the fairing was hitting the headlight and causing it not to be able to go all the way down. So it went down on this side, but I don't know if you can see that. Where is it at? Right down there is the right side, and it's like it's not all the way down. So what I did is I took a hammer and I just put it on top of the bracket on this side, and then I just pounded the fairing down. Yeah, is it removable? Yeah, but once you get it on there, it's gonna be, it ain't like the windshield where you can just pop on and off. Unless the bracket is like, these are the brackets it came with. You see that? And the brackets are on the bike already, which was the bracket for the headlight right here, this one, and this one, which that's what fits the windshield on. And then this is the bracket, this stainless steel piece here is the bracket that it goes down on. But you see the gap? And I pounded it trying to get it down in there, and it won't go down any lower. That's as low as I can get it. I don't know what to do. So I guess it's alright. I guess it's alright like that. So we'll just keep working on it and see if we can get it down a little bit farther, because if you go out here to the front with the fairing on, it is got a little bit of gap between the headlight and the fairing. And I don't know if that's going to cause a lot of wind coming in there, because I haven't even rode it yet. So we'll give it a shot and try to get down further. Okay, so I managed to get it all the way down by taking the rubber hammer and putting it on the bracket like this. Putting that wood in on the bracket and then hitting the rubber hammer down onto the bracket like this, hitting the top of the rubber hammer and just driving it down onto the bracket. I might later take it off, take the fairing off, and maybe, I don't know if it's my windshield bracket here that is too tight, but I might have to Dremel out a little bit of the metal fairing part that they give you to the mounting. Dremel out a little bit of the mounting kit, just so I can take it on and off easier. Because right now it's gonna be on there until I rip it off, and then I'm gonna have to Dremel it out because it's on there good. I had to pound it down on just to get it to stay on, or get it all the way down. It's on there. It ain't going nowhere now. It's on there solid, and it's all the way down now. And that gap is a little bit less. It's not bad at all now. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to throw the windshield on there. So Clockworks did send me a free windshield, and it comes in this, it's like wrapped with this plastic on it, and all you got to do is just peel this sticky tape off both sides, and that's the free windshield. Because on the invoice I ordered the 6.5 Clockworks, and then they threw in a 5-inch smoked windshield, which is this one right here, and I didn't even pay it. It was free. It says it was free. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw this Clockworks windshield on. So it comes with 3 of these bolts like this. You got a washer on this end, And then you got 2 washers on the end that comes out, and you just keep those on there, or put those on there, and then once you get your windshield down, then it's got these little acorn nuts bolts that you just put on the ends, and that's it. I just dropped that one. Alright, let's put that back on there. So to install the flare windshield on the XE Fairing, I couldn't find a video on how to do this, so I was going to show you real quick. You do, in the one video I watched, it tells you don't take out the bolts. Well, you have to take out the bolts because you have to spread this fairing apart right here. And then what you do is you just put your windshield in between the 2 pieces, and then you slide it down. As you spread it apart, you can slide it down into the slot, and then you go ahead and put, I left the middle bolt in. It was the only one I did leave, and I took the 2 ends out, and then I'll just put the bolts back in after I get the windshield all the way down and seat it in between the 2 rubber pieces here of the fairing. So to tighten the bolts down, it's a 7/16 socket, and all you need is a Allen key on the other side, and then you just put your socket on here and then tighten your bolts down. Pretty simple. And you don't want to over tighten, just snug. When you feel it starting to feel like it's getting tight, that should be enough, because you don't want to crack your windshield in there. So it's just snug, nice and snug, and there it is. And you just peel off this. There's the windshield. So that's what the XE Fairing for the Road King, and my Road King is a 2005, and it's just the XE Fairing. I got this box all over the place, and it's got storage. I still haven't peeled the protective coating stuff on there off yet. That's it. That's the Road King XE Fairing from Reckless Motors. I'm gonna take it for a test ride, and we'll see how it goes. Just some little things. Nothing to worry me about, but if you're one of those picky people, like you gotta have your bike pristine, can't have a scratch on it. I did pay $600 for the fairing, so you expect it to be, you know, tip-top shape when you get it. So, but I'm not worried about it. It's not that big a deal, because it looks good and it'll serve its purpose. And I just wanted to show you, if you're deciding on getting a fairing, the Clockworks or the Reckless Motors fairing. Okay, so I took the Road King for a test drive and tested out the fairing today, and I wanted to see how it did. The whole reason I bought the fairing was because I drive my bike about 30 miles to work every day, and without the windshield on, I get a lot of wind on the highway, so I put the windshield on. And when I put the windshield on, I was getting not so much wind, but I was getting a lot of turbulence, causing, where your head shakes when you're driving. I forget what it's called, buffering or something like that. But so I bought the fairing, thinking that would help with not only the wind, but the buffering and the shaking of the head when when you're riding, your helmet's vibrating. So what I did, I took it out today. I took it up to highway speeds, and it does cut down on the turbulence a little bit, not totally. I'm still getting a little bit of buffering. Now I do have the Clockworks windscreen on there with the curve. It's supposed to curve the wind over you, is what they advertise. Does it do that? Maybe a little bit, not totally. You're not going to be totally blocked from every bit of wind. And with my helmet that I wear, it might be the helmet, I don't know. It might be just, you just get a lot of turbulence on a Road King with a fairing. I'm not sure. This is the only bike that I've ever rode with a fairing, so I wouldn't know about how the other bikes feel with a fairing on them. So anyway, what I wanted to say was, I showed you how to put the fairing on, and I showed you that I had trouble putting it on. And what happened was I did, the mistake. When I got the fairing, I didn't read the instructions. So I just got the fairing out. I didn't even see the instructions until later, after I opened the packaging. I saw the instructions, because when I got it, it was just the invoice on top. And I was like, well, I saw the invoice. So after I opened everything up and looked at it, well, there's the instructions. And it has these metal, I don't know what they are. They're like I guess they're like a grommet. Well, it shows you on the instructions, you're supposed to take your headlight, and I'll show you here. So you're supposed to take your headlight right here and take that off, and there's a rubber bushing in there, a rubber grommet. You take that rubber grommet off and you put these metal grommets on. Now, is that going to help with getting the grommet, or not the grommet, getting the fairing on properly? Because it has rubber grommets on there, and they tell you to put these metal grommets on. They look exactly the same as the rubber ones, but I guess that might make it easier to put on and off. So I got it on there. It's on there snug. If anything, when I try to take it off, I'll probably put these on and then put it on right with these. So do yourself a favor. If you order the Reckless fairing, this is the XE. If you order this, make sure you read the instructions. I just threw it on there thinking I could just figure it out, and sometimes when you try to figure things out without reading things, you have to go back out and do them again, and that's probably what I'm going to have to do. So no big deal. It's still on there with the rubber grommets. Just it's harder to get on and off, probably. So I just wanted to say that, and I wanted to let you know about the buffering. It still is there, but it did cut down on it probably a good bit, but not totally.